I get a lot of questions, like a lot, about why I travel with the dogs. And I thought that I would address a big one, other than, you know, the old, how do I take my dogs across the border, which we dealt with before, and you can find up here, hopefully, over here. I get asked a lot how I feel about my safety when I'm traveling along by myself. And a lot of times people will be like, well, you don't have to worry about it because you have your dogs, so they keep you safe. And that is true, but it's also very, I think, irresponsible and kind of insulting too, for me and the dogs. So I thought that the best way to handle this is to do it as kind of a series. And I'm going to break it down about what you can do and techniques and concepts that you can use as you travel, whether it's across town or across country. Stay tuned. I'm Chris, and this is Adventure Dogs. So why should you listen to me when it comes to traveling safety and stuff like that? Well, other than the obvious, that I've been traveling alone with my dogs since 2015, and actually a little bit before that. That was before we kind of got into our groove. The other reason is, and this is going to be a surprise to a lot of my friends who I don't talk about the previous part of my life. I was a self-defense, defensive tactics, and SHARP, sexual harassment, assault, rape prevention instructor and instructor trainer. So even though those certifications have long since expired, the concepts and a lot of the ideas are valid. They're still gonna help out. So let's get to it. First of all, I don't like using the word victim. Fly. I'm going to address target. So what makes a person a target? It's going to depend on two things: the who they are and the what they have. So who they are could be who they are as the person. So if you're famous, you're who you are wherever you go. Or if you're at your hometown, maybe you have beef with someone else, that would lead to a person being targeted. Or who you are could be your physicality, so gender or gender identity, weight, height, age, disability, all those types of things may contribute to a person being seen as a target or being targeted. The other thing that might contribute to a person being targeted is what they have. So that phone that they just can't get their face out of, those, you know, sick kicks that they're wearing, that car they just parked, that stack of hundreds that they had to flip through in order to get the $5 to pay for their coffee. All of those kinds of things can contribute to a person taking notice of things that they may want to take from you. So what are some of the things that you can do? A lot of it begins in just how you carry yourself. So when you walk, hold your head up. When we're scared or we're nervous, we tend to curl in, and that's kind of a natural thing. We avoid eye contact. If I don't see you, you're not gonna, I don't want to be seen. You're protecting your organs, and you're kind of like crunching in on yourself. It's a very kind of defensive type of thing. Open it up, claim your space. And it doesn't have to be the throwing elbows claiming your space, but just, you can use any kind of visualization technique. You can envision a bubble around you or a force field or whatever. When you walk loosely. If you're all tight and tense, that kind of draws people's attention. You're like, you're looking a little nervous. And it can also, when you're all tight, it's kind of sapping into your physical strength. Like it tires you out. If you've ever been through a really tense situation, then you get home, you're just like, oh, I'm exhausted. That's part of the reason why. When you stay upright, it makes it easier for you to breathe. And if you're kind of losing control of your breath, a great way to take control back is box breathing. So in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, out for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. If you think about almost walking as a meditative type of exercise, that can help. Be fluid, be loose, look around, and it doesn't have to be that frantic. Like I don't like when I say head on swivel. I don't mean like that. I just mean just look around, take in, make eye contact with everyone in your area. If you make eye contact with them, they will think, okay, hang on, that person has seen me. They might remember me or be able to identify me if something happens. And I don't mean the kind of eye contact, just look them up, just like, hey, you don't even have to say anything, just as you walk, just and take a peek over your shoulder. It doesn't have to be all the way over your shoulder, you don't have to do the twist, but let your peripheral vision, which is much far better at seeing motion than straight on, look behind you. If you see motion, especially if it's close, turn around and just be like, oh hey, I thought I heard someone behind me. So now they know, okay, this person has seen me, this person can identify me, and I don't have the ambush anymore, potentially, and I'm not as quiet as I thought I was. So maybe they'll be like, ugh, I'm gonna change my tactics. Another thing, keep your hands empty as much as you can. I mean, if you've just gone to the mall and you've done your holiday shopping and all that, yeah, you're gonna have stuff. One thing that you can do is put all your high-end bags into cheap bags. So what's gonna get more attention? A bag from the dollar store or a bag from the Apple store? And that way too, you're only holding on to one bag as opposed to, bag after bag after bag. And, keep your dominant hand, so your strong hand, for me, I'm right-handed, keep that one free as much as you can. Keep your phone in your pocket. If you've got your face buried in your phone, you're not looking around, you're all hunched over, you might trip on a pebble, which is very much something that I would do. And it makes it really easy for someone to just kind of walk up behind you and just yoink and take your phone and boom, they're gone. So keep it in your pocket. There is one exception that I would suggest, and that is if you have a feeling that someone is following you and they're still following you, throw your video on, put it on selfie mode, and then you can pretend you're FaceTiming someone to be like, hey, can't wait to see you. Whether you send it or not, you've got them on video. That's an idea. And again, that's kind of a fake out. I'm very big on the fake outs. Keep small amount of cash in your pocket. If you're carrying all your money around in your wallet and you take out your wallet and there's, like I said, those hundreds of dollars of bills or a big stack or a big wad, someone could just grab that, or they know what's in your wallet. Keep 10, 15, 20, 25 in your pocket and have a rough idea how much there is and what denominations. So if you've just got a pocket full of fives, you just have to fiddle around, grab 1 5 and boom, now you're good, as opposed to peel it off and all that. And I recommend small bills on the outside, big bills on the inside, so then you just kind of peel them off that way. It's not so much about being scared, it's about knowing what's going to attract attention, and people will keep their eyes open for things like that, and you just want to be careful. Lastly, walk around where there's people, but not too many people. I know that sounds kind of like make up your mind, but if you're in a crowded area, especially a tourist area, and you're just constantly like you have the crush of people around you, you're not going to feel necessarily the person who's reaching into your pocket to take your wallet or your passport, or you may not know if they've gotten a hold of your watch, because really good pickpockets are really, really good. So if you go somewhere where there are some people, you still have what are called positive witnesses. They're people who are going to see things that people don't want seen, like someone having their purse stolen or their backpack ripped off them. It also means that if you don't have that crush of people, it's a little bit harder for them to kind of blend in with the crowd. So that is what I've got to start with. Like I said, let me know below if you see any value to this. I know that there's a lot of other stuff, but I'm going to be kind of building on it. I'm going to be dealing with more, I think, situational type awareness and more specific, situation specific type things. So this is just kind of an overall idea of things that you can use, that you can take with you wherever you go. Let me know. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye. Cider and rhubarb syrup. That's good for what ails you.